will cover you with love when I next see you, with caresses, with ecstasy. It's good to see you, Baba.
It's good to see you, my darling.
I finished this work for you.
You need help with that?
Okay. I'm sending this to my family back home.
If you want, I can drive you to the post office. That's okay with your boyfriend.
He's not my boyfriend.
You're safe now. You're here with me.
You don't know what you're talking about. That man, I was paying him to marry me for a green card.
Gorgeous.
I need to tell you something.
It doesn't matter to me.
Gihangol ko sa imong paghikap. Kalukob na ako sa dilaan.
Hey everyone, welcome to Cinema Queerantine. This is episode 6. Can you believe it? Episode 6. It seems like just yesterday I was learning new technology, sending funny memes to friends, staring at the screen all day. I think that was yesterday, and the day before, and the day before. So it's all yesterday. But the amazing thing is that this week is different because we are only 6 days away to the opening of the Translations Film Festival, the 15th annual Translations Transgender Film Festival, which opens on Thursday, May 7th. And what we just saw, bringing us into the show, was the trailer for our opening night film, Lingua Franca. And Kathleen Mullen, the executive director of $3 Bill, is going to be on later to talk about opening night and talk about that film and the rest of the festival. Just really, really excited to be able to put this festival online this year. It was quite a pivot. You know, I think the word of the year last year was they, either they or them. And I have a feeling that, quarantine would be too obvious. I think the word of the year is going to be pivot, because that is what we were all doing. And thank the Lord for such great support from amazing staff and volunteers and board members and sponsors and City of Seattle and the Northwest Film Forum. Oh my goodness, those people are just some fine human beings there. $3 Bill is partnering with Northwest Film Forum to put everything online. So in addition to screenings, we're going to have over 32 films from around the world, places like Ecuador, Finland, Samoa, and of course the United States, Canada. In addition to all of these screenings, we're also going to be having live panels, and we're going to be bringing you Facebook Hangouts, Facebook watch parties, where you can interact with filmmakers and panelists and guests, everybody, audience members, all of us interacting with each other as if we were actually at a festival, but now we're in a global virtual festival, which has its own benefits, you know. And as I like to say, while we won't be able to offer you an apple cinnamon flavored martini this year, I would like to invite you to enjoy a Queerantine, which, as we all know, is a tall glass of white wine just off camera, right? You know, you've had a few, yeah. So I invite you to have a Queerantine, whatever that may look like for you, and join us in our after parties and at the screenings. If you notice below, there is a website address, and if you follow that, that will take you to the Translations Film Festival. And actually that should say Translations 2020, but no worries, you'll get there. Follow the website, and that gives you all the information about the screenings and how to support us by becoming a VIP member. That starts at $25 and up. You can buy a VIP pass, and then that also gets you a discount. I'm just going to raise this a little bit. That also gets you a discount. Oh my god, that's so much more flattering. Okay. That also gets you a discount for the Queer Film Festival in the fall, knock on wood, that we'll be having that. Well, in one way or another, we're going to have the Queer Film Festival in the same way that, by hook or by crook, we had the Translations Film Festival. We're having it this year. I mean, it's there's so much uncertainty right now. It's a scary time. I mean, let's face it, it's a scary time, and people are hurting, and organizations are going under. Our favorite restaurants, we don't know what's going to be around. Goods and services, small businesses really hurting, and we are really making an effort at $3 Bill to not be just another cultural arts organization that dies away. It's too important. Queer film, trans film, non-binary film, too important to just, give up and not have a space to show our work and talk about our work. So I'm really proud to be part of this incredible group of people that have come together under very difficult circumstances to completely pivot and put content and put a festival online. And we're dedicated to bringing our audience amazing content and to providing great screening capabilities and interactive capabilities for our filmmakers and, of course, for the audience. So go on that website below, check it out. As I was saying, the passes start at $25, and you can also buy individual tickets anywhere from $0 to $25. We're making it available to everybody, and you sign up and give us your email, and then we send you the code. I mean, the computer, the algorithm, whatever it does. It's all automatic. It sends you the code an hour before the screening, and then you sign on, and just like at a regular theater screening, it will start at a certain time. I think there's like a half hour, give or take. You can be a little bit late and then start your movie, and so pretty much we're all watching at the same time, and then we all meet up afterwards and chat about the films. And as I said, Kathleen's going to come on and she's going to talk more about that. Speaking of which, let's check it out. Kathleen Mullen. Hey Kathleen, how's it going?
Oh, I'm really good. How are you?
I am doing really well. How are things in Canada?
Things in Canada are okay. Like they've been flattening the curve really, really well here, but I do hope to come back to Seattle at some point.
Okay, very good. Hope you're enjoying your free health care and all that other crap you get.
Yes, that is wonderful. Yeah, that's great. I'm enjoying spending some time with my mom, but we're working. I'm working. It's a bit nuts with
Yes.
like planning this translations.
Absolutely, which we're really excited about. Oh my gosh, in 6 days. And we opened the show with a trailer for Lingua Franca, and I wonder if you could just talk a little bit about it. Like, there's an art to picking an opening night film, and how is this film, just talk about how its role as the opening night film.
Yes, so well, I work with a committee. We've been working together, a committee of 10 programmers.
Oh yeah,
and
I'm on it.
A number of them saw the film, and and actually, yeah, and you're on it, of course. And it was a process, right? Like we had a lot of films to look at, and we had to sort of think about how we wanted to open the festival. I think with Lingua Franca, it was a perfect choice. It's directed and stars a transgender woman, Isabel Sandoval, and it's a story about Olivia, who's a really very strong woman who's trying to stay in the U.S. and trying to get her papers, and also take care of an older woman doing some home care. And it's really we felt like it was like the perfect film to start off the festival. It's a really compelling drama. It's a love story, but it's also about an internal struggle to survive and also thrive. So that was for us a perfect choice.
Amazing. And can you take us through and talk about some of the other highlights of translations?
Yeah, so we have 12 programs. So that includes two panels, one which is going to be with Dave Quantick and Sam Berliner, who's the former festival director of translations. And yeah, so we're very excited that he's going to be coming on and doing an appearance. But Dave makes these wonderful videos called Fruit Bites and Fruit Bowl. It's a podcast, and he interviews different kinds of people about sort of their sexual experiences and all kinds of good stuff. And so he has interviewed quite a number of transgender and genderqueer and non-binary folks. And so him and Sam are going to talk about that, and Sam's in one of them. So they're going to talk about that process. And last year we played a film called Porn Yesterday, and it was made by Dave, and so he's going to show clips of that as well. We played that at the Seattle Queer Film Festival. So yeah, so we have that highlight, and then we have one on trans casting with Elaine Wiley, who of course runs Gender Justice League and Trans Pride. And then we have a number of really incredible films, documentaries, shorts. We have a number of short programs, including Joy and Catharsis, another one called Art and Resistance. We have a webisodic program, of course, curated by yourself, Mocha. Yeah, very exciting. Yes, and then we also have one called Be Well that talks about health and having faith in sort of survival and how do you survive, especially in this time of the COVID-19 virus. Anyway, so we have this incredible lineup. We have a world premiere called Out Loud, which is an incredible film about a chorus. So we're thrilled about that. And then we also have the North American premiere of Kellet. So people have, the filmmakers have given us permission to screen their films. Every film will be starting at a certain time. So please make sure to come on time because they will be closed afterwards. And then we'll have some intros by directors. And then we have organized a couple of special Q&As as well. So those are all online.
It's going to be amazing. And I believe I saw that we're showing 32 films, total 12 programs from all over the world, places like Samoa, Finland, France, Canada, the US, which is fantastic. Global cinema for a global world. All right.
And I would say 95% of them are made by transgender people or non-binary genderqueer. Yeah.
Yes.
That's like unbelievably exciting to me as well.
Speaking of trans filmmakers, I'm excited to bring on Jet Garrison, who's the director of These Thems, which is an episodal program that's going to be appearing on Friday night in the webisode program that I had the privilege of curating. And I'm going to cut to the graphic, and then we're going to look at a trailer of These Thems, and we'll come back with Jet. So I'm going to say goodbye to you, Kathleen. Thank you so much for being on the show, and get to work. We got a lot of publicity to do, a lot of promo, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you in about 5 minutes.
Great. Sounds good. Thanks so much. Bye. Have fun, Jet.
I cannot be gay. I am 30. Hi, I'm Gretchen. Do you want a scissor? I'm gonna be a straight whisperer. I'm non-binary. My pronouns are they, them. I was brainwashed as a kid to love Jesus instead of vaginas. I think we might be able to help each other out.
This is for you.
Hi.
From them.
They is sexy, me is scared.
In the theater world, the only guys who have to come out are the straight ones.
Or the trans ones. I'm already the only brown guy at the office. I don't want to be the only trans guy too.
I hear that, but...
No, look, I'm done coming out.
Did you have intimate and tender sex with her for 5 hours until the sun rose?
Yeah, actually.
Ladies, did you hear that? She is a they, okay? Did I do that right?
No.
Got any gripes?
treats. Throw a bigger queer party.
Okay.
Hey, Jet. Welcome
Hey,
to Cinema
Mocha.
Quarantine.
Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh. What a great trailer. They is sexy, me is scared. That cracks me up every time. The writing is so good in that show.
Yeah, Gretchen Wilder, who is the creator of These Thems and wrote all 7 episodes and is our lead, Gretchen. She worked on the scripts probably a couple of years. So development had several table readings and just kept enhancing it. And I think that when I first read the scripts, what project was the dynamic characters, the comedy, and the heart.
Yeah, it's so good. There's just so many great one-liners in there. Like there's, well, we're gonna take a look at a clip in a minute, but I cut off the beginning. But my second favorite line is, "Yeah, that's not glitter, that's cocaine."
Yeah.
That's so good. Oh, and people, if you're just joining us, welcome. This is Cinema Queerantine. I'm talking with Jet Garrison, who's the director of These Thems. My name is Mocha James. I'm the host, and Jet directed a series of webisodal, episodic-based programs called These Thems, and it's showing in a program on Friday at 8:15. Not tonight, but a week from Friday, as part of the Translations Festival. And I wanted to bring Jet on to talk about this amazing series. I mean, all the when it comes on at the end, actually I don't know if it was, anyway, I've just seen promo for These Thems, and it's got the picture, and it's got like so many different laurels you can hardly even see the actual graphic. I mean, it's been everywhere, and everybody's like such a great response to this series.
Yeah, we had a really, I think last year we had a really wonderful festival run. And actually, we started our festival run by showing the first episode up at the festival, which you, me, and Kathleen, who was on here earlier, that's where we all met. You know, we were doing the math. It was over 15 years ago. That's all I'm going to say. But I mean, we still look like babies. But
course, yeah.
You know, we've been, I think, making and curating and getting queer art and stories out there for a while. So it's very exciting to kind of come full circle with you, Mocha, and see this amazing work that you're doing now, and, you know, working with this festival. You know, you've worked with many festivals over the years, but curating this awesome digital series webisode showcase with trans creatives and creators and stories. I mean, how amazing is that? So thank you for the work that y'all are doing.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Really, you know, anything with queer film, trans film, non-binary film, I love it so much. And one of the things that attracts me to the webisodal ones also is that I think there's an interesting connection between episodal web series and folks telling stories that don't often get a chance to tell stories. You know, it seems like the medium just allows for a lot more experimentation, and it's less rigid in some ways than other ways of producing content. I mean, would you find that? Like, what about, in particular, about episodic web-based programs do you find to be particularly attractive for telling the stories that you want to tell?
Well, I think part of it comes from just this distribution mode that we have now. I mean, you know, people have been making digital series and webisodes, you know, for a while now, but I just think it's been the past, you know, 5 or 6 years that people really are turning to online content as a way to find new voices, to see stories that aren't out there by the major studios and networks. I mean, that's, you know, a big problem we have. I mean, I'm out here in LA, and I moved to LA to try to, you know, advance my directing and my storytelling career as a queer person. And, you know, we don't have a lot of executives in places where they are wanting to green light and get behind and champion queer content. There's a few out there, and they're doing their best, and we've got some really cool shows out there now. You know, you look at shows like Vito, Work in Progress. I mean, and there's a lot of other ones that are in the pipeline, but it's not enough, and it's not representative of our all intersectional and inclusive community. So having these digital series out there, I think, is a way to show the wealth and breadth of experience and stories that we have. You know, being queer is this, being trans is this, being, you know, all it's not one type of story. So any chance we have to get a variety of our stories out there and show just the dynamicness of our community is important. So I'm excited by it. It'd be nice if we were able to get paid doing it. You know, like, we create this content, we put our, you know, our souls into it. We, you know, give up higher paying gigs or no gigs to make this content. So I hope that people, actually, for some of the content that is free out there, they recognize what we're doing to get it out there, because it is definitely a labor of love, because we believe in it.
Yeah, I mean, it shows in the production quality. I mean, the effort that went into it. You know, obviously there's expenses in there, but it sounds like one of the great things about webisode programs is, like, one, that you have the access. You know, like, we don't have to worry about. Although it would be nice to have a big time distributor. If you don't get that big time distributor, your work still gets out there, right? In a way that you don't have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to send copies all over. You just stream it onto the internet, which is always so simple, as we've seen this show, which is a piece of cake. Just stream it out there. But then I also
that's sarcasm, folks. That is sarcasm coming from Mocha.
And then also, but because it becomes, you take out that middleman, as you said, it not only do we have, like, or do we get one story of trans visibility or trans representation, but, you know, we get more than one. Like, oh my God, you know, it's not just like a network saying, all right, well, we already have our trans show, or we already have our queer show. Well, you can,
and they do
thousands
that.
Of them.
Yeah, and they do that for sure. Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
I think, you know, what would be great, though, is if, you know, these companies, we could get some branded, you know, content out there to, you know, we've got a lot of eyes on these shows. We've got people that are hungry for it and want it, and there is a way to monetize it. And you know, companies are going to figure this out. It hasn't happened yet, but it's coming. I'm hoping to believe in that. And, you know, we're, with these thems, we've got season 2, Gretchen's got season 2 outlined in RTG, but she wants to do it right. I agree with her. And so that's the time for somebody like a Netflix, an HBO, a Hulu to come on board and say, no, we see value in this. Same for Razor Tongue, same for Delo's project. I mean, there's a lot. We've put the content out there. We've proven that there's an audience for it. And so now, you know, there's no argument on why we can't go to a season 2, why these stories can't be told. There's a hungry audience wanting it.
Yes, definitely would love to see a season 2. And you mentioned Gretchen. That's Gretchen Wilder, the creator and star of the show. And it's so good. And actually, I want to highlight one of the moments from the series that you directed. I'm going to show this clip, and it's this poignant conversation between the characters Asher and Kevin, who are played by super hunky Sean Dasani and Nick Park. And they're having a discussion together. And yeah, let's watch the clip, and then we'll talk about it. Go.
Hey, have you seen Gretchen? She's not responding to any of my texts, so naturally I assume that she's dead.
I haven't seen her. Maybe she got stuck in a top sheet.
She doesn't use one.
Monster.
I know.
Thanks for coming out. Thank you. Heard you. Thanks.
Wait. Is this your coming out party?
I'm not out at work.
Well, that is not such a big deal. You see, in the theater world, everybody just assumes that you're gay, so the only guys who have to come out are the straight ones.
Or the trans ones?
Well, I don't know any of those, so. What? You? Oh, wow. But you look
Like a real boy? Is this an issue for you?
No. I mean, I'm allergic to pussy, like EpiPen status. Shit. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Is that offensive?
Yes, it is.
I'm so sorry.
Besides, maybe I'm allergic to penis.
No.
Maybe, I don't know, I actually haven't touched one since college.
You're not gay?
Well, I don't, this is all new. And maybe I'm just more sexually fluid now.
Jesus.
Is that another issue for you?
No. Maybe. I'm used to tops and bottoms. And sometimes if you're lucky, a switch, but you are a whole new can of worms.
Okay,
and
I'd rather not be referred to as a can of worms either.
I'm sorry. It's getting late. I should go.
Yeah, you should go.
Oh, that's so sweet and sad.
Yeah, that's that scene. Every time I see it, it gets to me. I mean, one, how it's written, the content of what's happening, and how our actors delivered it. It's really powerful. I mean, These Thems is a comic. If nobody has seen the series or parts of it yet, you can tell from the trailer. But that moment is that's our dramatic kind of anchor to the series. In that episode 4, is when each one of our core 4 is going through a moment on their individual story trajectory. And that is a really powerful one between Kevin and Asher. And I know that storyline in particular was the reason that Gretchen, our creator, wanted to bring a trans-masculine director on to help kind of round out the team behind the scenes. And so I was honored, and I feel a lot of privilege in being able to come as a trans-masculine guy to bring my lived experience to my role as director for the series. So that was a big responsibility, I felt. Working with Sean and working with Nick on that scene was really powerful.
Did you find that you were drawing directly from your life experience, where people had misgendered or missexualized you?
Yeah, Sean and I,
it's hard to not missexualize you. That's a whole other thing, actually.
That's a whole other thing. No, there's definitely some fetishization that goes on, and the sexualization of queerness and trans people.
And also, just the presumed misogyny. I thought that was a really great response that the character Asher has.
Yeah. There's a lot of layers of this onion, and we've been at film festivals, and that episode's played, and you're with an audience, and you feel the energy, you feel the people. There's some trigger points for folks too. I've had once you come out, you have to come out all over when somebody finds out that you're trans, when they are perceiving you as cis, right? The baseline is heteronormous, white, able-bodied, certain privilege and class. Anything other is a divergence. So definitely, I definitely have had that experience when you decide you want to let somebody know, or you mention something in passing, and they do that double take and the body check. Oh, And it's, the longer I'm in this body, I'm not going to say the more comfortable I am with that reaction, but I'm getting better at how to handle it. So that's something that Sean and I talked a lot about, and Nick, who plays Kevin, this was his first real meaty on camera character and role. And, he himself as a gay man and connecting with his cauldron of gay men that he is connected to was, he hadn't had that experience as a person, and Sean hadn't had that experience. And so as actors and as myself as director and helping understand what was happening in that moment and allowing the character of Nick to fuck up. I mean, he really fucks that up. And I think that is a very realistic thing that happens to us in a variety of ways. So I think you have to be truthful to that. And when you watch the rest of the series, you see how he may redeem himself. I don't want to give anything away, but he does. He does.
Yeah. Well, but also what I like is that he messes up, he fucks up, but he's not canceled. Like there's the series I think is very generous in that way, in that it's showing people can develop over time. There's a trajectory. We can we're all queer. Just because we're all queer doesn't mean we all get along or get it right. Within there's the diversity within the diversity. And I think that the series does a great job of representing that, and then also, as I said, being like showing flawed characters, but ultimately being from a place of generosity, I think, and humanity. They're all very well-rounded characters. I mean, speaking of which, I have to ask, what is going on with Sean in that scene? Like with that sweater, he looks so buff, and it's like this big sweater, but it's really tight. What's the story behind that?
He will love the fact that you're noticing that. Yeah, he did. It's funny. Our costume designer, Joss, did an amazing job with the costumes, because I was talking to Gretchen, like, we need somebody to come on board, and because each character has their personality. And when Joss was bringing these tight-fitting sweaters and stuff for Asher, because Asher's a hunk, and Sean is a hunky guy, and so we wanted to emphasize that he is an object of desire for Kevin, and I think that's what's messing with Kevin's mind. He's like, wow, and here's this sexy guy, and I'm attracted to him, and this is attraction. Now I have this piece of information. How does that change my attraction? And I find that fascinating, right? We're attracted to what we're attracted to. And for me, gender and sexuality is on a scale. And, I think it's this really interesting dialogue. What you were talking about before is, there's a bit of 101 in these Zims, I think, for queer community and audiences, and also for the straight community and audiences. And we didn't want anybody to come off vilified. We wanted to show that everybody's, they're doing their best. We're trying to figure it out. I mean, for us, that I'll call us the legendary old guard, when I was first coming out, queer and trans wasn't a word that was in our vernacular. And it's slowly over time. I mean, you and I have the benefit of having gone through gender and queer media studies, and not everybody has that ability. We're in a much different time now, but people are still figuring it out. And people, the tribalism in our queer community is so vapid, and people just live in their little bubbles. So we're hoping that with this series, we can help and educate, but it's edutainment, really.
Yeah, it's it's never didactic, which is what is so strong about the series, is that it does do a great job of presenting authentic representations and doing the education or the exposition here, but the exposition is done very artfully, the explanation parts, and so it's always entertaining, and it's very funny, and it blends some really poignant moments, and it's got some seriousness in it too, and it's just fabulously directed. Way to go, Jet! The writing is amazing, and the acting. I mean, everybody's great, but you know how I feel about Sean Dasani. I mean, that guy, okay. The first time I ever encountered his acting, it was by some festival, and it was like someone had submitted a rough cut for a short. And he's in it, and the sound is it's just like windy sound, like I hadn't even fixed the sound yet, and so it's like, and then Sean Dasani, and it's like, oh my god, it's like, what the heck is going on? But even I still was like, who is this guy? He's amazing. I can hardly hear him. The soundtrack is horrible, but he is just like exploding the screen. And then I was like, I think I even wrote to you. I texted, like, oh hey Jet, you gotta check out this actor. Sean Desani, I just discovered him in a short. And he's like, yeah, he's kind of like well known, and he's my buddy. And I want to look. There's a New York Times article with him. Yeah, blah blah blah. Anyway, he's fantastic, as is the rest of the cast. So anyway, it's really exciting. And just to remind everybody, we're showing a whole series of episodal programs that are based on the web that include these thems. We're going to show another great series called Transmonogamist. We're showing the first 2 episodes of each of these. Transmonogamist, Razor Tongue, and Private Dick, and this is going to be on Friday night at 8:15. And if you go to the translations website, $3billcinema.org/translations2020, you can get all that information about it. And Jet, it's been amazing having you on the show, Jet Garrison. I thought we could actually cut to, since you brought it up too, look at the trailer for Razor Tongue, which is another great episode program that's going to be in the series. And this one is written, starred, and created by Rain Valdez, who people might know from Transparent and some other shows. But yeah, I'll cut to the trailer, and then hopefully we'll be more in touch with the rest of these thems, and we'll be talking about ways that we can do some moderated Facebook stuff and all that. Which, yeah, we'll let our viewers know more about that. But thank you so much, Jet, for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I just want to say, what you were talking about before about the series. I mean, big props to Gretchen Wilder and what she did as the creator, writer, and star, and our amazing producer, Sophia Clark, who just, knocked it out of the park as a producer. The entire cast, of course, Sean Desani, Nick Park, Vico Ortiz, and Gretchen Wilder. Mocha, next time you're in town, I'll set up a meet cute for you and Sean, I promise.
Oh, that'd be great. Is it telling that I don't know how to do the heart?
It's
nervous.
okay.
I can't even do a
It's
heart.
endearing, and it's very you. It's very you.
Sean. No, that's not it at all. All right, awesome. Well, great talking to you, Jet. And let's check out Razor Tongue by Rain Valdez.
From now on, I'm going to call people out for exactly who they are. What kind of place has a incompetent, cisgender white man doing interviewing an overqualified woman?
Why are you such a bitch?
How dare you insinuate me with such diabolical terminology? I am not going to stand here and tolerate your association to immaturity. I am far too intellectual and have great potential to pursue other important matters.
We're looking for a new host for my show called Razor Tongue.
What makes you think I'd be interested in something like that?
You called Austin Devereaux toxic bullshit to his face. Do not put Belle on that show. Why not? Because she's not like you.